The way we consume and share news today is largely rooted in social media outlets, a reason why it's crucial to look at what's being discussed online. For our daily social media minute, we're joined by Erica. Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy Friday.
Yes, happy Friday to you too.
All right. So it turns out lots of rare mandarin duck flock are spotted in Seoul. They're not supposed to be here. I guess we can just give a blanket answer, say it's climate change and call it a day. But it's, I think, worth taking a closer look at why are they here? What do they look like? Where do they come from?
Well, what do they look like? They're actually really pretty. They're these like plump ducks with really pretty patterns, and 200 of them roughly have been spotted in the stream in eastern Seoul, the Jungnangcheon stream in Kumhodong, actually, in Seongdong-gu district on Wednesday. And the sighting, which is quite rare, especially a flock of this size, is really rare. So naturally, it's generated a lot of buzz and excitement here.
Do you think it would get this much publicity if they weren't so cute? I mean, they're really aesthetically pleasing.
Right. I mean, but if you think about it, if you spotted a flock of 200 pigeons in one, single area, I would be a little bit concerned, not excited.
Okay.
But I'd be like, what's going on over there?
All right. Erica, I think you're describing someone's worst nightmare, 200 pigeons.
Right.
All right. Naturally, we'll try to answer questions about they don't belong here and why are they here and climate change and things like that. But specifically, where and when were the flock of mandarin ducks spotted?
Yes, according to the Seongdong-gu district office, the birds were seen near the southern end of the Yongbikyo Bridge in Kumhodong, so it's pretty central. Now, Professor Yoon Moo-gu, he's a biology professor at Kyunghee University, and he's actually quite well known here. He's known as Dr. Bird because of his research of local birds, and he was the one who reported the sightings to the Seongdong-gu district office. Now, the office chief shared via X that the professor informed him that there have been occasional sightings of maybe one or two mandarin ducks here in Seoul, but never a flock of this size. And it's not clear why so many of these ducks decided to flock to the metropolitan area. But according to the professor, he just wanted to share with the rest of the country of this rare occasion because it is so rare to see so many in just one spot.
It is really a sight to be seen. Again, they're really plump and cute, incredibly pretty. So it turns out, not so coincidentally, mandarin ducks are a beloved symbol of love and fidelity in Asia. It's also a natural monument in Korea. I guess even our ancestors thought, oh, you look incredibly special. Let's attach more meaning.
There's a reason behind that meaning. First of all, these ducks are mostly spotted in male-female pairs. And for centuries in Asia, mandarin duck pairs were thought to stay together for life. However, it turns out that's not true because in reality, the birds pair for the season and then move on to a new partner in autumn. But still here in Asia, the mandarin ducks remain the symbol of love, fidelity, and fertility as well. Now, as you mentioned, the mandarin duck is designated South Korea's natural monument. It is natural monument number 327. A lot of people attach a lot of meanings to a lot of things, including animals.
I think so too. I mean, if you think about why we add meanings to every flower, right? There are certain species of flowers that are more popular for weddings, and most of the symbolism is eternal love or pure love. And I'm thinking, is that just fantastic marketing? Or I mean, because it's driven by demand, do we just really want to believe in the romantic aspects of life? It doesn't matter what biology and facts tells us. I would rather believe mandarin ducks mate for life.
You know what? For some, it's definitely really brilliant marketing. I'm thinking of diamonds, and meaning attached to diamonds, But anyways, we mentioned that the sighting of a flock of these birds is very rare.
Mm.
Outside of Asia, it's even more rare, apparently. Occasional sightings of mandarin ducks in the wild have sparked headlines in countries like the United States.
Mm.
For instance, back in 2021, I remember this. A U.S. media reported that a single mandarin duck was spotted at a park in Kansas. And at the time, there was a whole bunch of speculations as to why that bird was there. Many, speculated that it might have escaped from a zoo
Mm.
or from the house of someone who had been keeping the bird, perhaps as an exotic pet.
One Mandarin duck waddled into town, and
Yes.
everyone thought, let's take pictures and get curious. All right. Overall, though, across the world, I wonder how rare the Mandarin duck species are.
The mandarin duck itself is not a particularly rare species.
Mm.
It's categorized by the International Union for Conservation of Nature as a least concern species. And what that means is that the mandarin ducks are not so rare to be evaluated as an endangered species or
Mm.
near threatened species.
Mm.
So, in terms of numbers, it's estimated that around 60,000 to 65,000 of the birds live across the world, but most of them are native to East Asia.
Okay, so in Kansas, it might as well be super rare.
Yes.
That's so funny. All right, let's move on to our second buzzword of the day. Korean cuisine making another splash, but this time for the first time at a UN cafeteria in Bangkok.
That's right. And that's why we're talking about it this
okay.
morning. So Korean cuisine has been getting a lot of positive responses at the UN office cafeteria in Bangkok, Thailand. According to the Korean embassy in Thailand, this is the first time a permanent Korean food section has been set up in the cafeteria of a major international organization, including the UN headquarters in New York.
All right, so how long has the UN cafeteria in Bangkok have been offering Korean food and an entire section? And
Yeah.
what's on the menu?
So this Korean section at the UN cafeteria in Bangkok has been operating since September of last year,
Mm-mm.
and the cafeteria at the UN Conference Center (UNCC) has been offering Korean dishes like bibimbap. Kimbap, kimchi fried rice, and 닭강정, which is a sweet crispy chicken. The UNCC was first established in Bangkok in 1993, and it served as a conference venue for the Economic and Social Commission for Asia and the Pacific, which is a regional body of the UN Economic and Social Council.
So, as you can imagine, given the nature of the UN, being
Yeah.
located inside a UN building is a pretty great opportunity to showcase Korean food culture to delegations from countries really from all across the world.
That's right. The UNCC hosts regional offices of a number of international organizations, including the UN Development Program, the UN Environment Program, and the Food and Agriculture Organization of the UN, as well as the International Labor Organization. So approximately 2,000 employees work at these agencies, including roughly 50 Koreans.
Mm.
So, this Korean food section, it offers a wide range of Korean dishes to, like you said, delegations from all around the world. Now, previously, the UNCC cafeteria had offered Western food, vegetarian, and halal sections, but never a Korean section until now. And as many probably know, Thailand is considered a hub of the Korean wave Hallyu in Southeast Asia.
Mm.
And alongside the popularity of Korean pop music
Mm.
and K-dramas, Korean food has also been gaining a lot of interest and popularity in recent years.
All right, so it all lines up. Who gets to operate the
Yeah.
Korean section at the UNCC?
So it's operated by a franchise business that specializes in Korean cuisine in Thailand. The name of the company is the bibimbap. The company was founded in 2011 by a former employee of a major Korean corporation in Thailand.
All right. I'm willing to bet money that 50 Koreans working at the agency's
Very
Bangkok
happy.
spot are probably happy.
Yeah,
Yeah, because when I'm abroad for long, I think I do crave kimbap,
same
bibimbap,
here.
kimchi
Same
fried
here.
rice. The
Yep.
simple, the better. All
Yep.
right, let's move on to our final buzzword of the day. I really have to get to this because I can't decide if this is really clever or a little bit excessive. Now, one Italian province is ordering all dogs to be DNA tested in a poo crackdown.
That's one thing South Koreans are really good at. I've been talking about this with friends yesterday too over this news, but Koreans are really good at picking up their dog poop.
Yeah.
After they take them out for a walk. It's really hard to see dog poop just like on the streets of Seoul City, and Seoul is a big city, and we have a lot of pets nowadays, and lots of dogs especially. So in Italy, well, specifically in Bolzano, dog owners have to submit their pets for DNA tests because the authorities in Bolzano are cracking down dog poop in its own streets. So what's going to happen is swab test results are going to be inserted into the local database, which police can then refer to in their search for the culprits and their owners. And the evidence is, well, supposedly it's going to be used to find owners. They're going to be fined between 317 US dollars to $1,140.
I feel like it is just a hunch. As soon as the DNA test results get filed, like archived, right? I feel like it would deter many owners from just leaving feces outside. All
I
right.
know, right?
Right?
It costs money to get the DNA tests done.
Of course.
Yeah.
Now, what does the law exactly require, Erica?
Well, the law requires the estimated 45,000 dogs in the province to go through a DNA test at a vet clinic by the end of December 2023. So that timeline is already passed. The initiative is going to be introduced this month, actually. But out of the 45,000 dogs, estimated, of course, only 5,000 have had their DNA tests done. And as you can probably imagine, the measure has been really contentious, especially among the dog owners who actually diligently clean up after their dogs, who are now obliged to pay roughly $70 for the test.
Okay, is that fair for who has already been obliging to the standing laws? Basically, it's much easier said than done trying to get DNA tests for 45,000 dogs. Even if it were free, that sounds complicated. And it costs not just money, but could you imagine the municipality and for the police who get to survey this, they have other obligations.
The DNA tests, they're going to be compulsory, actually, mandatory from the end of March of this year. And, owners will have to pay some hefty fines if they fail to register their pets' DNAs.
Well, I have a hunch this is not a really good idea because if you can't get everybody on board, how do you ensure you have a good system?
It's just so much work for the police on top of everything they already have to do, And people are asking some realistic questions like, for every two tourists, there is a dog. Who pays for the test of those dogs who are from, other parts of Italy or even abroad?
Right. Different parts of Europe. I mean, I saw so many dogs in Florence. I thought, how many of these dogs are local? How many are here with tourists? Because,
Good question.
And I was there during a really touristy time of the year. And yeah, who's held responsible there?
I guess there must be a lot of dog poop in Bolzano for the authorities to come up with such measures, drastic measures, I have to say.
Thank goodness I live in Seoul. Thank you so much, Erica.
Pleasure.
Have a great weekend.
You too.
If you're listening to our program using the podcast service, just a reminder that we do go live Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Korea Standard Time. So tune in and help us make the show more informative by giving us your input. See you bright and early on Good Morning Seoul.